Good morning. It's been a minute since I last talked to you guys. I just had a lot of things going on, so I really just kind of just didn't want to talk to anybody for a little bit. It's weird because you know how you wake up and you want to speak and you want to talk and you want to get things off your chest and you can't. And at the same time, you just kind of want to close yourself in. I think I was like in one of those I don't want to say a depressed state because it's not like I was depressed. Because people who have depression, that's totally different. And a different beast than I guess what I'm feeling. So I definitely don't want to say that. Maybe I'm kind of in a defeated type of mode right now, if that makes sense. And it has nothing to do with weight loss. It's just life in general. So I don't want to say I wanted to take a mental break because excuse me, that's just definitely not it. And that's no. Excuse me, I just finished coffee and I always get like that when I finish first. But I did just, you know how you look at your life and you just realize you didn't do as much as you wish you did. And it's not like I'm old or something like, oh my God, I'll never do it. It's just kind of like a reevaluation of stuff. So maybe that's what I'm feeling right now. And I'm hoping to get out of this funk very, very soon. So I think that's kind of the reason why I wasn't doing any videos, but I'm trying to get back into the groove of that and kind of readjust myself a little bit. So with everything going on, most of you guys know that, you know, I work in the healthcare field, and we're doing the shots and stuff like that for everybody. So of course I got my vaccinations and I'm happy about that. And I help a couple of my friends get theirs, so I'm happy about that. And I do want to say that if you don't want to get it, then I don't think anybody should force you to get it. I mean, everybody has their own principles about, you know, what they want to do with their lives and what they don't want to do. And I don't think anybody should force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But at the same time, I always feel, and I tell some of my friends this too, that with every right that you have, sometimes you should let people know. Like, just because I'm vaccinated, and I want everybody to understand this because there's some misconceptions going around about this whole thing. When you're vaccinated, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. That's ludicrous to think that. Well, I shouldn't say ludicrous because there's so many misconceptions or misthoughts and stuff like that. And by no means am I a doctor or a pharmacist or anything like that, or a scientist or anything. But we have to think of it like the flu. And what I mean is, when you get the flu shot, that doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu. It just means that there's a chance that it could bypass you and come off as a cold, or at worst, like, you know, you'll get the symptoms like the body aches, the pains, the sneezing, the wheezing, but you won't get the pneumonia part of it. You know what I mean? So you won't be hospitalized. You know, you'd be homesick and you would need to stay in bed and take your antibiotics just like normal. And you'll hopefully get over it sooner than later. Same thing. You get the shot, there's a chance that you'll be okay. But let's be realistic. If you're in a crowd of people and say there's like 20 people and out of those 20 people, say 5 of them have it, and you just happen to stand next to 3 of the 5 or 2 of the 5, and they don't have mask, and you think that you don't need your mask, who's to say you won't get it? Just same thing. So I just want people to understand that. Like, I've run into a couple of people that be like, oh, I got my shots, I don't have anything to worry about. What? No. Please don't think that. Please don't. It's such an experimental thing still too, and we don't know the long-term effects or everything. So just be cautious, of what you tell other people or what you think in yourself. Do some more research, if anything like that. I did it because I'm around people all the time. I'm around kids, those older people, and just in the field that I am, I just want to feel a little bit more safe. Now, with that being said, I stopped taking the flu shot a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. But since this is so new and, I just like I took the flu shot, I took this. My lighting always changes. There we go. So, again, it's up to you. I never force anybody, but I strongly recommend that you look into it. Again, don't do anything against what you believe. And don't let anybody tell you differently. There's so much going on in the world that it's crazy. And, we have to do what we can to protect ourselves. And I know everybody wants to get back to normal. I know I do. But in reality, maybe this is our normal right now. Maybe this is the normal that we need to get used to and grow and understand and adapt, because we're very good at adapting. It may take us a little while, but once we get the hang of something, we adapt. There are people who don't believe in adapting, and we deal with that too. Just life. So, if you're interested in I can help, drop a line. If I can maybe get you vaccinated, get you in a little earlier, you can inbox me, or if you have my Instagram, you can DM me on my Instagram. And if I can help, I'm more than willing to try. If it's not something that you're interested in, but you want more information on, you do the same. Maybe I can shoot you out something that maybe you didn't see. I don't know. But just let me know. It's not like I'm going to charge you or anything. It's just so that you have more information. And now that that's kind of out the way, and I think that's part of why I've done some clinics, I've given out shots, it's just crazy, everything that's going on. So it's as crazy as that is, you feel kind of upset when you think about bills and stuff like that and things that you have to pay. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have done your tax returns. Let's just say I'm not a happy camper. And the bottom line of it is, these stimulus checks are not free. We gotta pay it back somehow. Everybody's looking for a fourth one, a fifth one. I mean, we're gonna pay for this, right? Nothing is free. Nothing. Not even the air we breathe sometimes. And it's crazy. And I'm not saying anything against it. Trust me, because when I got my check, I was very happy. I was like, okay. But as soon as you get it, it's gone. Like, I'm thankful for Biden for giving us the rest of the money. Totally. Because that 600, when it dropped, I didn't know. And it was gone before I even knew it was there because of bills and stuff that were coming through. And the only reason why I knew it was there was because I'm like, oh, that bill went through, right? You know, when you try to figure out in your head and be like, oh my God, I'm going to hit the negatives in my account. Do I have enough funds to cover that? I need to hit it to the bank because I can't do that late fee. And then when I looked at my account, I was like, it's a little bit more money than I would normally have after I paid this bill. And then I saw that the check was there, and I was just like, but darn. You know? So this one, we knew was coming after he signed it. Everybody was waiting. I think when I got mine, it literally went straight to my bills. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad I work. You know, I worked through this whole I know I'm not supposed to say it, but I'm not monetized because I don't have enough people. So I'm not going to edit anything because you guys know I don't edit anything. But do this whole thing that's going on, I'm very glad that I was still able to work. You know, I know a lot of people that couldn't work, that wanted to work. And people who lost a lot. So I'm grateful. So I never want to sound ungrateful. But at the same time, your money can't only stretch so far. You know what I mean? And I tell everybody, I live myself, you know, so my bills are my bills. And the little bit of help that I used to get, it's not here anymore, you know? And yeah, so it's a struggle, you know, and it's a readjustment, and it's a new way of life. And it's like, okay, what do I need to cut down on? What do I need to do to survive? And everybody's in survival mode, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna get on to the weight loss, I'm sorry. The PPP loans, can I just say that the people who were defrauding, and I am one of those people that usually says, and I still kind of stick by this, if you let someone get away with something, then you can't hate that person because you let them get away with it. You know what I mean? So of course you're gonna keep doing it. They're like kids, you know? Oh, I snatched that and I didn't get in trouble. So let me just keep doing it. And then they get in trouble, and then it's like, oh. Okay? So the bigger the the more issue it will cause. So I know everybody, because it's trending all over the place, and I don't really look at the trend buttons, but I do watch a lot of YouTube. I think I watch more YouTube than anything else. And they were saying how these people were scamming millions of dollars from the federal government. What? Are you guys crazy? And the sad thing is, I really and kind of believe that was kind of a setup, just a little bit. And it's not a setup, and I do want to say it like this, it's not a setup between blacks and whites, or, you know, or any type of colorism. Not that. I'm more along the lines of saying it's to snag people, like to say, listen, we only let you get away with this because, you know, we were just waiting, you know. And then you see the people that are getting arrested, and you see the, you know, the craziness of it all. There's this black guy, don't know his name, I really don't care to know his name, who got, what was it, 5 different PPP loans up to, I think it was 1.6 mil, bought a house, bought luxury cars, bought a Rolex, bought, you know, just spent money, not to help the community, not to help his family, not to, like, you know, build up himself, kind of, if you understand what I mean. Meaning, like, okay, I lived in subsidized housing. And this is just an example because I don't, but, you know, if he lived in subsidized housing and he didn't have a car and he was begging for rides and he was sleeping on friends' couches, and he actually used, say, the money to buy him a home for his family and, you know, kids, and, you know, paid off bills that were, you know, making it hard for him, you know, putting some savings away for his kids, you know, because, you know, they needed education, buying clothes for his children because through this whole thing, you know, they didn't have the money to, helping out a neighbor that helped them. Something to at least show that it wasn't really for greed. It was to help, to kind of better yourself in the station. And I don't always mean materialistically, but really, I forgot how much that home was for. And really, did you really need that sports car and the Rolex? Come on, come on, come on. Like, it's hard to feel sorry for that. Because then the next story was about this lady, this black lady who ran a daycare center, who tried to get a loan, who almost got shut down because she couldn't get the loan, because you were out buying cars and houses that you didn't need. Are you serious right now? I don't feel sorry for you. I could care less. Black, white, Chinese, whatever. I don't care. And, you know, then you turn right around, and I think he was Indian or Pakistan. I don't know. But he was, you know, he got, what was it? I forgot, 6 something mil or something like that. He got like 15 loans or something like that. And he bought real estate with his money. And he bought a lot of houses, cars, again, being greedy. And I think he sent some money to his country as well to do whatever. Again, but then you have all these people that are suffering, who are getting eviction notice, who lost their jobs and can't get it back, who are starving, who have kids that are like, these people, it's just sad and pathetic. And then that was another minority. Then you have this white guy and his girlfriend. I think between the two of them, they got 6.7 mil or something like that between the two. Again, just to spend. Now, with all that being said, you have people that are on unemployment that can work, but refuse to work because they make more money on unemployment than they do working. But use the excuse, well, this is still out there, so I'm scared, so I'm not going. Not to say that that's not legitimate. Some people are like that. But some people aren't, and they're using that as an excuse because they make more money not working than working. I can barely find workers to work for me because they make more money at home than they do working. Am I mad at that? A little bit. Because here I am, here doctors, nurses, firefighters, EMT workers, grocery workers, pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, sales clerks, drivers. We're all working because we need to be out there to help you. But yet we get the short end of the stick. Not so much because our pay is cut. Sometimes our hours are cut, because businesses are not making as much money as they used to, so they're trying to adapt with everything. But with everything that everybody adapts to, there's a consequence to that. So at my job now, let's see, we do curbside assistance, we do delivery services, we do several other little things that cost the company money, which in turns cost us hours and time. Or, you need to make this money up somehow for us. And if you don't make this money up for us, then we're going to have to do this. So it makes it harder on us. And it's the way business is. But with hours being cut, pays are being cut. What are we supposed to do with that? Right? But you get to sit home, relax, and just let money come in. Am I blaming you? Not really. Government. I never liked our last person in office. No, never. But was it a bad idea to cut it off? Not so much. I mean, get unemployment, yeah. You scared to go to work? All right, here's your unemployment. The extra I care about. Because I feel like the extra should go to people that are actually working. Give them incentive to work. Well, here's some extra money to thank you for working versus for staying home. Unless you have a medical excuse. Maybe you're older and you can catch it. Maybe there's airway, breathing issues. Certain things, totally understandable. But I'm really just talking about the regular workers who are taking advantage of the system. But again, can't be mad at that, right? Because it's a game. And some people know how to play it and other people don't. During this whole thing, I took out 2 loans where I work at, and now I have to pay them back. So, of course, my pay is not as much as it used to be. And is that anybody's fault but my own? Not so much. But, again, I needed money to pay rent, to pay everything, and I'm still working. I worked through this whole thing. There's not a day that I didn't work. But hours weren't the same. Things changed. What am I supposed to do? So that's where I'm at with that. And I think that's why I needed a little break. Because the more you look, the more you listen, the more you see, the more tired people get. There's so many horrible things going on in the world right now. I mean, the shootings are getting ridiculous. The violence against colorism is getting ridiculous. People are just doing what they want, and it's not fair. And then people wonder why. I'm okay with people staying 6 feet away from me half the time, because you never know what their intentions are. To be scared to go out your house, to be scared to do anything. And everybody says the same thing. Well, if you don't do anything, you're fine. Then obviously you're living in la la land sometimes. I'm almost glad I live where I live. Not to say that there's nothing that goes on around here, but I know my environment. And sometimes when you know your environment, you know what to do. When you move, you don't know. You don't know what rules to follow, what rules not to follow, so on and so on. And sometimes that could be a hindrance to you or not. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. I just kind of wanted you guys to see what kind of mind space I'm in right now. And I don't want anybody to think I'm anti anybody. I love everybody. I really do. And but I don't live in a bubble. Like, I know what's going on. You know, you pray and you hope that everybody's safe and that everybody's taken care of. But between everything that's going on in the world, why add more to it? Is it because you think you can get away with it more easily? I mean, let's face it, this thing that's going on is thinning us out as it is. And I mean thinning everybody out. Why are you helping it again? Is it wrong for me to say that every bad thing that you do to people, I mean horrible thing that you do to people, that it comes back to you? But, you know, you hear, oh, well, it's karma, it's going to come back sooner or later. I'd rather it sooner than later when you're harming people that haven't done anything to you. But again, I'm on like a pedestal and I'm preaching, and I don't want to, because I'm not a great person either. Some days I'm a horrible person. Some days I'm just mean. But you'll know it. But if I'm mean to one, I'm mean to everybody. It's just the way I am sometimes. But I like to think that I've grown since then and continue to grow every day, just like everybody else. So you see where my mind is. It's like all over the place. It's like a little bit here, a little bit there. But my channel is more weight loss and stuff like that and daily life. So this is my daily life. So that part is now done. Let's talk about phentermine. If you guys are still with me. I'm still on it. I went to my doctor. And I'm still maybe about 40 pounds over. So I'm trying to lose the 40 pounds. I do believe a lot of it has to do with the extra skin that that can't snap back. That actually needs to be surgically removed from me. And there's no way for me to do that without loans. And my credit is horrible. And honestly, I think depending on how long it takes me to pay back my loans, maybe I'll use that money once again and get, you know, my surgery done. Or hopefully if I get promoted, maybe I'll use, you know, we'll see. What else? So with that, I got a new prescription. Now, I know that it says that it's addicting because it's a drug. It's a C2 drug, and it's a controlled substance. They were talking about how, let me see what time it is. Okay. How people get addicted to it. And I haven't. And it could be because I don't take it as I should. So, disclaimer right now. I'm not a doctor by any means. You're supposed to follow the directions the doctor gives you unless otherwise stated. I don't do that. I take, it's supposed to be like one pill every day. I take 2. And I don't take them every day. I actually had, took some time off just to reevaluate. Plus I needed to clean my house and my apartment. My apartment, well, let's get it straight, my studio apartment. And I had to put away my winter stuff. I started, you know, taking stuff to the laundromat, throwing stuff away, just going through some things and throwing away a lot of stuff. Because I'm not a minimalist by any means. I have a lot of makeup and stuff, and I have a lot of stuff that I accumulate. And you never realize how much you accumulate until you start cleaning, and then you realize, oh, shoot. No. So, trust me, I throw away a lot. I still have more to do. But I got the shrink bags, to shrink up everything for the winter so that way I can pack it away. But because I live in a studio, you don't want a whole bunch of boxes everywhere. So I'm still cleaning and still figuring things out and figure out what I got to throw away so I can use some containers. What else? So I got on a little tangent with that. But so the time that I had off, I didn't take phentermine at all. Because I wasn't doing anything productive. So maybe that's why I don't have that dependency like some people might get. That could be it. I do feel the effects are different because I will eat a little bit more after maybe the second day of not taking it. Not so much so that it's ridiculous, but I know the difference because my stomach will let me know the difference. And I've known it shrank again because it'll let me eat and then it'll shrink up and it'll feel like it's in my throat. And I'll be like, oh God. And it takes so long where I have to stand up and hopefully it digests, or I have to sit down and hopefully, or I gotta lay a certain way, or I gotta drink something like water. Like it can't be anything heavy because it feels like it's right here. I have lost weight, but the scale doesn't show it as well as I want it to. I think I've lost inches. Like my thighs are smaller, but they're still huge. Like my waist size, I want to say is about a 10, 12, somewhere in there. But my thighs are about a 14, 12. More, it's in that middle. Because if I go any smaller, if I go by my waist side, it's not going to fit my thighs. Or it's going to look like my thighs are in sausage cases. And then it looks nasty. So, no. Oh, I've been on here for like 31 minutes. Okay. With that being said, I'm always a size. I go by my thigh size. So I have to wear belts. And I'm always pulling up my pants because my waist is smaller. My arm situation, my shirt size, like from my chest down to my torso, is maybe large. But because of my arms, I have to wear like an extra large to 1X, depending on how the shirt's arms are made. If there's no arms where I'm like a tank top or a short sleeve or something like that, I can probably get away with. It'll be a large. And I'm okay. But with sleeves, depends on the make of the shirt and how stretchy it is. So my first order of business, I was thinking of getting my arms done first. But I think I want to get my legs done first and get those out of the way because I feel like my shirt, for right now, I can live with. My legs, I'd rather get those done and let those heal up and be able to wear like the right pant size. And that's probably going to cost me a lot more. And I know I'm probably going to have to save up a lot more. Some people are like talking about going overseas and getting that stuff done. And I was thinking about that too. I know that if you do something like that if anything goes wrong, sometimes if you come back here, they're not going to do anything for you. Sometimes. I don't know. I've heard like a lot of stories about how they won't touch anybody that's done stuff overseas. But, I mean, the price difference. It's really what it boils down to, because insurances are not going to pay for stuff like this. And honestly, you can't exercise as all this extra skin away. Granted, I did this to myself, so I'm trying to fix it. So I don't know. So it is working. When I take 2, if I don't know, I'm like, again, my size and height might make a difference. But when I take 2, it really, really controls my appetite. Like, it reels it in. Like, I can go a good 9-10 hours without worrying about eating, maybe a little bit more. And if I do that constantly, then I can go a day. I think I want to really try to incorporate that with intermittent fasting and see how long I can fast before it's like, okay, I need something. So, I've really been on here too long. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I am still around. And I think I want to try to do a video tomorrow. I think I'm going to try to put this up today. And I want to see if I can do one tomorrow. And basically really focus on phentermine and the effects and stuff like that. And again, if anybody's interested in vaccinations and stuff like that, you can send me your Instagram or your email or anything like that. And if I can help you, I will definitely try to help. Okay, so stay safe, be well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.